Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom and I have just witnessed Wolves 1, Ipswich 0. So the daunting task of going away to the league leaders has, as I suspected, ended in defeat. Ipswich did not disgrace themselves, but there's going to be the normal cries from the Ipswich fans of, why didn't he have a go? Why didn't he have a go? Well, I actually think he did have a go today, and I'm going to tell you why as we go through this video. So Wolves looking strong. They're playing their 3-4-3, Ruddy in goal, Bolly, Cody, Bennett centre backs, Douglas left wing back, Doherty right wing back, Neves and Saiss, the excellent MidField pair in centre midfield, Jota left up front, Bonatini in the middle, and Cavaliero up front to the right. So McCarthy, we wonder what system he would go to cope with these excellent Wolves players and the 3-4-3. Well, he ditched his normal 4-2-3-1 and it was more 4-4-2. Waghorn dropped off a little bit. Let me read you the team so you can figure that out. So Spence, Kenlock, Chambers, Webster were the back four. No Knudsen today, sadly, he was a miss. Connolly and Brew were the central midfield. That's what Mick's having to use. Remember, Ward down the right, Selina down the left, and Waghorn off Garner. Now, I think the reason he did this was I saw Wolves v Sheffield Wednesday, and it was very, very clear that if you play one up front against Wolves, you give their three centre-halves way too long on the ball. So he needed someone a bit closer to Garner rather than the three spread out. So Waghorn did get forward quite well. And also, I felt against Reading, when Reading kept the ball, Ipswich lost their team shape, and the four and then the four in front of them is just easier to keep a strong shape. And yes, okay, the back four did go tight and the kind of wide players come back, but in the main I thought that was the right team shape, and given the players, he had the right team selection. Obviously there'll be a few calls from McGoldrick, but Mick seems to be being very pragmatic this season with Ipswich's games. There's 2 home games to come up, so he's probably thinking 4 points from those 2 games and lose today and you're probably all set. Anyway, the first half, I can't tell you a lot about the first 10 minutes because I was sat upstairs in the Steve Bull stand. My ticket should have said restricted view because the sun was so shining in my eyes for the first 10 minutes you could barely see anything. Jota goes down on 3 minutes, but he's okay. The early pattern is Wolves are on top. Ipswich sitting back, and Wolves were very slow in possession. They didn't move the ball fast like they can. I would say they were patient, and or Ipswich neutralised reasonably well for the first kind of exchanges. Garner wins a free kick on 15 minutes, 25 yards out. Waghorn takes it left-footed, pretty poor effort. I thought, especially with my chat with Luke from the Wolves Fancast on podcast this week, that he said, well, set pieces may be your best chance. So this was a bit of a wasted chance. Ipswich come into it a little bit on 15 to sort of 20 minutes, becomes a little less one-sided. Kenlock making a few runs forward and Webster too. Silly pass by Selina across his own box, cut out by Jota. He gets his shot off straight at Bart. That was the 25th minute and Wolves' first effort on target. So they by no means dominated, but they were very patient. They weren't ever in any kind of rush to get their goal. Garner draws a foul from Bolly this time. Free kick in a good position. It was like they were rotating, so Selina takes this one right-footed. Ruddy actually catches it. So Ipswich still ahead on shots on goals, if not possession or territory. Clipped ball over Jota right to left. Kenlock loses him. Jota controls, he shoots, and Kenlock gets back and blocks it. From the corner, it's cleared out and Neves volleys over. It was fairly clear, and Wolves had picked up on this, and I'm a fan of Miles Kenlock. He's an Ipswich Town Academy graduate. They'd figured out that Jota could overpower him if he ended up on that side, and I think Doherty ended up 2 on Selina and Kenlock, and it was fairly weak down that side. And on 39 minutes, Wolves get their goal from that position, really. It's Kenlock in a kind of 50-50 strength test against Jota. Jota shrugs him off, Kenlock goes down, they've broken the press. He takes it down the line, it goes across. At first I thought Connolly could have cleared it and read it, but really the ball kind of runs away from him. Cavaliero picks it up, he cuts inside, he uses the players as a shield. It's a good goal. He smashes it in the corner. Bart can't really do anything in the goal. But I would say if Jonas Knudsen is playing left back for Ipswich, that goal wouldn't have happened because Kenlock was shrugged off by Jota. And if there's one thing Knudsen is, he's strong and he holds his position. So I just think Kenlock struggled a bit for that goal. So half time, Ipswich are undone really by mistake, well capitalised on. They weren't unambitious. They did try and get forward as and when they could. It was by no means just, sit way back and, ultra defence. They did try and get the ball up to Garner and support when they could. I don't know what Mick's supposed to do, really. Is he supposed to go? Anyway, more of that at the end. Second half, Webster tries a diagonal out of defence, completely kind of skews it. It goes straight to Wolves. They break 1-2 by Jota. Cavaliero's in and Webster gets back and tackles. So when Kenlock made the mistake in the first half, he got back, he tackled. Same with Webster here to block out the chance. Nice build-up down the left here. Kenlock gets Bruin for Ipswich. He doesn't cross it, he plays it inside to Selena. Selena fires a Man City-style ball into Waghorn. Waghorn gets a good touch. This was the chance. This was the chance for Ipswich to score. He gets a good contact on this and he smashes it across Ruddy just past the post. It was a good move. Good, Ipswich had men forward, midfielders, fullbacks. Good chance, unlucky. Fell to the right guy as well. Ipswich force a corner and an attacking free kick. So for 3 or 4, 5 minutes, they're on top, possession-wise, territory-wise, and force a couple of chances. Jota give and go, left foot shanks it wide. Interestingly, Ipswich having more of a go and pushing forward actually suits Wolves. It actually sped them up and they responded quite well. Cavaliero goes out and Eno Bakare comes in. Brew goes out. He did a grand job, really, considering he was going to be given away to, last in centre midfield there. In comes Ted Bishop. He's getting more and more time now. Neves smashes one over on 67 from long range. Waghorn miscontrols on 69 and takes a yellow. He kind of overcompensates, gives it away and smashes into his guy. Neves with a little tug. So the yellow cards building up here. Mick takes Waghorn out on 71 and puts McGoldrick in. I'm guessing for both of them, he wants to save McGoldrick and Waghorn. I guess Waghorn on the yellow for the 2 games, QPR and Derby coming up. He wants 4 points from those 2 games. Bonatini goes out, Costa comes in. I've seen Bonatini play twice now and not really have much of a kick. He gets a little bit isolated up there for Wolves. Garner out, Sears in again. Garner will play all of those home games, I would have thought. Conley takes a yellow for a pro foul. It's all kind of Wolves seeing this out now. Neves, free kick, puts it way over. And then the game gets a bit stretched and Neves has a couple of little party piece moments. Kind of Bergkamp style chip through ball by him. Costa's got a swivel to volley it over. It was a lovely pass because you're kind of thinking, right, Ipswich are all lined up. They're gonna stop this pass, and he just chips it over. And then Ward corner to the near post. Connolly jumps. This is 84 now. He can't keep his header down. He jumps quite early. He'll probably regret that. Half chance, I guess. Chambers takes a yellow. He has to take Costa out. Tactical foul. Costa squeezes between 2 players, and Chambers has to foul him really for the yellow card. Douglas free kick, side netting where I was sitting. The Wolves fans were up. They thought that was in, but Bart didn't dive, so you'd assume he had it covered. Jota goes out and Dai comes in, the big guy. That's the defensive substitution from Nuno Santo. He did that at Sheffield Wednesday when I saw them as well. Neves, another beautiful chip here. Chips it through his midfield partner. Saiz goes through. Doesn't quite get anything on the header. Eno Bakare here, counter-attack. He slows it up, trades passes with and Dai, and then because the Romario toe poke just goes wide. Ipswich, their last chance, they force a corner, bounces in the 6-yard box, fairly panicky. I don't know if Ward mishit it, but certainly caused a bit of danger. So, look, the game ends 1-0. Wolves pretty comfortable. I think the praise for them from McCarthy was that they're not beating everyone 3 and 4. They know it only takes 1 goal to win a game, and they're very, very patient. When I saw them against Sheffield Wednesday, they were much better, but I think that's actually a reflection on Ipswich. I think Ipswich weren't ultra defensive. They were defensive, but they weren't in a muddle like Sheffield Wednesday were trying to stop Wolves, and Wolves really had control of that that game. You'd say they had control of this one, but Ipswich were a bit more of a presence, I'd say, than Sheffield Wednesday. Standout players for Wolves, not too many, because Ipswich stopped them playing well. Obviously, Cavaliero's very direct and very dangerous. He doesn't need many attempts to get a goal or an assist, and obviously he got a goal today. Very powerful, direct player. Neves, couple of silly, chips and passes at the end. He's very good. I would say the difference, though, was actually Jota, purely because he was the one in that team that was physical. He realised that he had the better of Kenlock and that he could bully him about, and he did. He's horrible to play against Jota. I would say he was the standout. Obviously, Bolly is kind of imperious, swaggering around at the back, but I've seen him twice now, and he's probably sprinted about once in those 2 games. Very, very strong player. The complaint from the Ipswich fans is going to be, go on, Mick, have a go. You go away to Middlesbrough and you lose. You go away to Wolves and you lose. I don't know what else Mick is supposed to do today. He went 4-4-2. He didn't park the bus. Where they could, they got out and they tried to get forward. Kenlock had some breaks. Webster had some breaks. Spence. Ward in the second half got forward a lot. I'm really going to get annoyed if I see Ipswich fans on Twitter. No, Mick, you should have had a go. He did have a go. What's he supposed to do? Play 3 up front and lose 4-0? Then you're going to be saying, oh, this is ridiculous, Mick out. So I thought, given you're away at the strongest team in the league, who are paying good wages for these loan players and have a very strong system and are beating everybody, I think he had to have the team shape like that, and he had to sit in as much as he did. And look, you've lost by 1 goal away to the top team. I think they missed Knudsen. I don't want to dig out Kenlock too much, but in these away games against these, Jota plays for Atletico Madrid, and Kenlock's up against him. I think they missed him. They didn't miss Skews all that much. Connolly did a good job. Brew did a good job. Where they did miss Skews was when they actually got the ball. He's always available to receive it, and Brew is a little bit further forward normally, but I didn't think they missed him too much. Good performances for Ipswich today. Chambers' usual captain stuff. Bart was fine. Other than the goal, they were reasonably comfortable. Ward was good in the second half. When you're playing a stretchy counter-attacky game, Ward's very good because he can just run forever. Selina was quiet. Waghorn missed his chance. I would say Ward in the second half and Webster and Chambers in the main look comfortable. So I think it's a reasonable performance. Wolves have better players than Ipswich. Mick judged it as well as he could sitting in, and there was a breakaway, a mistake from Kenlock in the build-up for the goal, and that was pretty much it between the 2 teams. He could have got a 0-0 here today, and if McGoldrick's around, maybe you'd had that more quality, and he could have got a bit more. So please, I really hope Ipswich fans aren't having a big pop at Mick for not having a go today, because in the context of this game, he did have a go. I think I've made my point. Wolves fans, you're going to get promoted. Let me know how you think Ipswich did compared to other teams. Obviously, they didn't allow themselves to open up and get murdered, but Wolves still got the win. So let me know what you think in the comments. Ipswich fans, am I right? Am I wrong? Are you annoyed? I think Mick takes these games this month. He's beaten Forest. He's beaten Reading. If he beats QPR and he beats Derby, he may not beat Derby, that's a good month, whether you've lost this game or not today. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. Many of you probably will, and you think we should have, I don't know what had a go means. We should have played 3 up front, played 4-2-3-1. I don't know. I think we'd have got battered if we had of. So let me know what you think in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Give me a subscribe as well. That really helps. There's going to be no Blue Monday podcast on Sunday because none of you are going to listen to it on Christmas Day. And then we play QPR on Boxing Day, so we'll review both of those games. So this is all the content you're going to get. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a happy Christmas, and off I go back to London. Thank you for watching.